This is the way we're looking right now. The third seed will get to pick between fifth and sixth one. You know, we talked about this previously. If you didn't watch it, you should be there on the pre-show. It's actually quite good. Now, on to the next game. I'm kind of scared. Singularity versus X7. You think it should be an easy one, but well, today has shown us that...
So thought at JDXL, and so did Riddle.
Chaos! And talking about chaos, let's meet the fan on the street by Singularity.
What's going on, gamers? It's your boy Munchables coming at you, and you know, this is a kind of fan on the street video. I may not be on the street, but in terms of League of Legends I am, because sat at your desk is where you play League of Legends. Now, I usually cast the LPL, but recently I've been casting my eyes over at the NLC, and you know what? There's a team that stands out from the crowd. That's right, you know it already. It's Team Singularity. Now, I watched them for the first time the other day against Bifrost, and you know what? They destroyed them. They annihilated Bifrost as soon as I arrived. Then recently, managing to topple the Titans in JDXL. The team tied for first place in the NLC, but Singularity, just another name on the chopping block. M&M X7, your days are numbered. Team Singularity are coming for you.
I was not expecting much. I was not expecting
That was out of
much.
nowhere. That was out of nowhere.
You know what? He's a man
I'm
of
leaving
quality.
today. I can't deal with this day. I can't. I'm too confused. No, don't follow me. I'm leaving. This is so confusing. Why?
He's such a man of culture because he goes from the top of the top LPL teams, world champions, into Singularity. My man.
Maybe it's because of him we got the third seed. I mean, it's Munchables vouching for us. Well, let's look into this matchup. Singularity versus X7. I'm going to do the question, okay? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
How can X7 win versus Singularity today?
Well, I thought you were going to say, how can X7 lose to Singularity?
No, today is about how can X7 win.
Okay, so this
Step by
is
step.
extremely important because I know on the three-way tie, JDXL end up second, so they've locked in, but I don't know what the implications are between Riddle and X7. I don't know who's third place, and that's very important because the third place, yes, goes into lower bracket, but they get to choose their opponent, and that's why this is very important. So for X7, it's do or die. They have to win to equalize the score between them and Riddle at this point, and then we'll also get the call on who ends up taking that third seed later on, because I think it also depends on victories between them. Now for Singularity, we've said it over and over again, with the addition of Scrudy and Mirza, I think things have been looking up a little bit. I think Scrudy has been really good with ganking timers, Mirza giving him priority with his AD picks in the mid lane, such as the Lucian. I think if they can take control of that mid lane, which has been very difficult, because Tempt has been on fire together with Viking, maybe they can build their pressure on the map.
And we keep talking about the Scrudy show, but there's someone that is stealing that thunder. It is Viking. He has been picking
Badum.
different picks. He has been a beast so far. The Hecarim worked really... Look at this. This man is perfect.
Okay, so we're counting his victims above.
That is victims.
That is all the victims.
And the murder weapons.
And then below is the... Yes, and below
If I
is the
don't
murder
get
weapons.
to see a video where they put Viking face on Schwarzenegger when he's on the Terminator 2, he's like, I've come to pick your clothes, but he's like, I've come to pick your seeds. I've come to pick your EU master slot. I need this in my life. Because it makes sense. Ever since he joined this team, they're unstoppable. He started with Vi, from the show, The Arcane, by the way. So that is a good pick. How can Singularity, now, on a real factor, how can Singularity win versus X7? Because everybody has been popping off.
I think you take Talia off of Tempt. You take roaming champions off of Tempt, and you either try to punish him in lane and allow Mirza to roam towards the bot side of the map, or you play purely for that bot side of the map. Kasink has been overstepping a few times, especially on these enchanters, so it is punishable. You make it a 1 versus 2. Attila can be punished as well, therefore you can bleed through bot side of the map, or you just go solely through Mirza. So far, what Singularity have been doing, they've been providing priority lanes for Scrudy, and then Scrudy makes the calls on where he chooses to go and gank. And I think you look, you choose, and you go towards the lane that you feel is the safest away from Viking.
I agree 100%. What is your opinion about
agree
this
with
one as well?
You go all in on Mercer, I think. He's been great. I think a pick like Swain, he was very strong on it. And X7 has been very heavy on the melee compositions where they dive in and go all in. That's how they won against JDXL with the Swain. And I believe if we see that again, it is a chaos-filled day, so it could happen.
It is chaos. It is ready. It is the 4th game out of the day. I don't know what to do, but let's jump into it. Champion select of the 4th game, Singularity 2-15 versus 11-6 with a winning streak unstoppable for X7. They can't throw away their lead, can they? They have too much of a lead.
I've seen so many things, man.
No, that's the meme.
I've almost seen a Katarina win today. My mind is blown.
I mean, we have to believe that X7 are, like, to me at least, they're the strongest team right now, in my eyes. So I have to believe that the chaos ends at this game. That's what I have to believe, otherwise my brain
Should
would
be corrected.
implode. I will not be able to help you for the rest
Welcome
of the day.
to the NLC, man.
I picked the right time to come. I really feel like that's true. This has been a
Last day
very
of
exciting
the
day.
season is always a special prize for us.
Banger.
Yeah.
So the Lilia's out.
Screwed his Lilia out. He showed us other champions such as the Kazakhs that he was pretty successful on. Now, Attila's Draven being banned away to me shows that maybe Spiky could go for something like the Kalista, and they could bring something out like the Kalista Amumu that we've been seeing internationally a lot. And it's pretty much seed champion, kill champion. Throw Amumu in, he butt heads, he stuns, he CCs, you get locked down, you die. Something like this for a composition that doesn't necessarily have the likes to out macro the opposition, having a bunch of CC and ways to team fight and making it easier for yourself, I think is the way to go.
Yeah, these straightforward brute force things
Yeah.
are exactly what you're looking for if you're looking to upset a team. I completely agree with
Or you
that.
just be one of failures, it's fine.
It has been popping. He's,
mean, yeah.
he's really good right now. At least the poppy won't work on him, so he doesn't have a dash. There's something to look out for. But you reveal a lot, and you allow Attila to take this
I'm
edge.
just gonna say, last time Attila was on a Zeri,
Yeah.
yeah.
Last two times.
It wasn't very pleasant for his opponents. And also we're giving tempt to Attila. And I'm saying tempt very lightly because you could have also be Viking. We don't know if Viking has been practicing the Talia behind the scenes and they could swap it around. Saying that though, I do know that tempt does not tend to play AD mid laner, so it's most likely gonna be in his hands.
Yeah, this seems very unlikely. Even though he has been playing 2 carry champions in a row, I don't see the Talia going in his hands.
It should be the jungler right now in favor of Singularity
Katarina
or even
does
the
counter
support.
Talia in lane.
Nautilus is the pick. Katarina does counter the Talia. My question is, would we get you again on the cast? Is that? I don't even know
No,
anymore.
listen, this time I'm gonna leave it up to Jamada. I wanted my one cast. I was done with it. I was like,
His
I'm
face
happy.
though was priceless. He joined the studio like, wait, what? Okay. And then he walked away.
wait, oh!
Karthus.
Pop?
Okay.
Is
I
he
mean,
back?
if anything, we were talking about brute force. This is it. You have the Nautilus, you have the
Brute force with
Karthus.
the Karthus.
You just pop the ulti. You can affect any lane at any point.
Now, the question is, Talia is notorious for getting priority in the mid lane. And the problem with the Karthus is, if that Karthus is in the jungle and not in the mid lane, the problem is that you get priority with Talia means you get to invade with a jungler. And the Jarvan being locked in right here means early game proactivity. So you find the Karthus, you kill the Karthus. I'd like to see what Singularity is going to choose to put in the mid lane to shut down Tempt from roaming.
That is true, but as a Karthus connoisseur myself,
Oh, please.
this Karthus pick into Jarvan, actually that matchup is really fun for Karthus because you farm a lot faster, especially if the Jarvan doesn't actually go full AD. His clear really suffers very fast, so your clear speed is actually your weapon against the invades. Like if you just keep it so fast that the Jarvan can't keep up, or you see him preparing an invade on your chickens, you're just like, okay, I give up those chickens, I run somewhere else. That's where you want to end
The
up.
idea is to get priority on the lanes and allow Karthus to thrive on the jungle.
No. He's just gonna be in his jungle. He's gonna have some protective wards, and he's just gonna run around. He sees the invade on the chickens. He just leaves those chickens behind. He goes farm someone else.
Okay, let's see if the Karthus
See
is going to pop
Jarvan,
up.
avoid Jarvan.
Avoid Jarvan, farm, get the level 6 first strike probably to deal damage on the entire team and
Probably, yeah.
yeah, and bring in that gold back home. As the Nan and the Poppy are the ones being removed, there's not a lot of movement or even dashes for Singularity.
Poppy being banned away here means that there is a chance that they think this Karthus might also be going in the mid lane, which to me is very scary because having a Jarvan ganking you, level 2, level 3, having a Leona roam in mid lane and a Talia that can slow you down and then flip you onto the rocks, I think it's pretty much a sitting duck, this Karthus in the mid lane to be constantly ganked. So I'd shove him in the jungle, I'll try to get priority in the mid lane, possibly something like a long range mage like a Victor, but then again, when you have Karthus, you kind of want to have...
casting now?
Yeah! He's back, baby!
You're casting?
Am I casting? I don't know.
Initialize, you're out.
What's the last pick?
I feel like, I don't know what the last pick, I just really hope that for the next game we're going to be seeing Fiddlesticks so that I get to cast as well. That would be nice.
Wait, there's a Pent in mid? Nah, that has to be top.
No, it's
Ooh, versus
Pant in
Gragas, that is so bad. No, that is not a good matchup. That is not a good matchup.
Who is that not a good matchup?
Okay, so Quinn is a good matchup into Gragas, and I think Pantheon has actually kill threat onto Talia. So if they swap them around, it kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
If they swap them around.
Playing to the end.
Predictions.
I'm going to go the non-chaos route and say X7 as much as I want to say Singularity.
Can you get me a ticket on that route as
Yeah.
well? The non-believers.
May the skies tremble as the spear will pierce it, and smite upon those non-believers of the men who survived gods and demons. They fear not because he's a god, but because he's a man. And in battle, we are reborn. Take it away, boys!
Wait, I'm changing my mind.
Sold.
No, I said it to the casters. It's to the casters, guys. That is my toss away.
I think there is but one question to ask everybody in this room. What is your profession?
Oh!
Pantheon locked in. Quinn locked in. Karthus locked in. We asked for some chaos today. We delivered.
I haven't seen him this happy in...
We got a Pantheon and a Katarina today.
Yeah, we did.
Last day of NLC,
Hey, man.
delivering. Onto the Rift we go. X7 win this. They can lock in third. X7 lose this. Still the potential of a tiebreaker with Astralis for fourth.
Spooky.
Spooky indeed.
What a spooky day it's been in the
been a spooky
NLC, to be
day.
honest with you.
I know, absolute madness. And again, a correction, of course, we were excited about the three-way tie potentially allowing X7 to get second, but of course, with the way head-to-heads work, they are still, even if they tie up with Riddle and XL, going to get knocked down a third purely because of the number of wins each team has between each other. And XL currently have the highest there, so that has locked them second. And they are heading to EU Masters, even if it is in a bit of an ignominious fashion.
Ooh. Ignominious.
It's a good word, isn't it?
Bloody hell.
I know, I like it. It's a good one.
You know what's crazy about the English language
Yeah.
sometimes? I can hear a word and just know what it means without having ever heard
used it? Yeah.
And for the non-native English speakers, ignominious, I assume, means basically in a very lackluster slash like...
It's like slightly embarrassing, lack of pride, it's like
yeah.
not noble, that kind of vibe. So they get there, but they're kind of crashing and burning over the finish line.
Exactly.
Is what we're after. And of course, there's time for them to fix it, playoffs and the rest of it, but my days did XL put it down to the wire, shall we say. Either way, they have made it in, and now we've got to try and work our way through two very different team comps with a lot of champions we don't necessarily always see.
Are you going to ask me to break down
I'm going to ask you to try.
Okay.
I'm not asking you to succeed, but I'm going to at least give you an opportunity to maybe give me something to work with.
All right, so top side of the map, Pantheon, at some point, his laning got hit, like, pretty rough. I would imagine into Gragas, this matchup is probably relatively irritating. I'm not going to say which side of the matchup I believe should win. Air quotes, you know, win is very subjective. But what I will say is Sips has the Ignite, and if he manages to find enough positive trades, I'm sure if it gets to a point where Chase is at 50% HP, he's going to look for lethal, and he's going to look for the solo kill. Priority side, not gonna bother. It should probably be Gragas if he really wants to expend his mana.
You've got the Comet Spear and stuff and some aggressive trades. Maybe there's an option as mid lane.
Oh yeah, the next one.
All right, so my brother is actually a Quinn mid enjoyer. He plays Ahri and Quinn. That's what he does. And occasionally bit solution. Like, he's a weird guy. But anyway, Quinn mid has some very aggressive matchups with the Ignite. You can do a lot of damage at level 2 and 3 if you can start landing those Harrier marks and the rest. So we'll have to see how that manages. Of course, I imagine Vault into Talia sucks a bit because you dash straight across all those rocks and regret your life.
Yeah, I think if you really don't sell it well and you make it very telegraphed that you're going to go for that flip, that tempt can very easily just drop that Unraveled Earth on the floor and you just end up stunning yourself. But certainly if Mirza is just kind of in auto range anyway and can just get that backflip off really quickly, you have to remember there is a brief channel time on that Unraveled Earth. However little it is, it's still kind of avoidable as long as you don't oversell.
Worst thing is, I believe Volt has a cast cancel in it as well. I don't know whether you can cast the cancel of Unraveled Earth. I don't know whether that's actually how it works. I've not seen this matchup for obvious reasons, but I wonder. It'd be worth keeping our eye on.
Yeah, I guess we'll track. Maybe it happens. I mean, at the end of the day, SNG have quite literally nothing to play for, so I expect them to just go balls to the wall.
Well, they're certainly going to have to survive this, though, as Sips gets body slammed, and Viking is looking to come marauding into this top lane, but fast enough is this Pantheon to get out of dodge.
Yeah, really smart use of the passive there. Had 5 stacks, just uses the Aegis Shield. I think it's still called that anyway.
Aegis Assault.
Oh, Aegis Assault.
Vault, it's Shield Vault, Aegis Assault.
Yeah, there you go. And just uses the movement speed off of the Empowered iteration. And Scrooty actually full cleared and is going to push Viking off of that Skullcrab. Bottom side trades, though, looking a little...
Back and forth thus far, but the turnaround now that the Glacial passing away, Kasing in a lot of danger. I think he's just about to die. Flashing out now, but the flash forward from Mikey. Looking for the final auto, needs one more. First blood to Singularity in the bot lane.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's going to be another one.
Surely not 4 games.
We've had Eminem, we've had Nariki. Could the Singularity do it as well?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I mean,
oh, boy.
I'm just saying, we asked for chaos,
I
so I don't know what
say-
you've let in.
I will
Do the
say...
replay first.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the replay. Let's see how it actually breaks down, because we came into the middle of the trade, so Sing actually opts into this with Attila, but just realistically, you're playing into Felios level 3, you've got a Zeri, you're just not going to win this. You don't have the damage over time, really, to match up to PTA Felios. Or Lethal Tempo, I think it might be. It's neither.
It's flip football, because none of the
You know
options.
what? That actually kind of makes it worse that
Yes,
they
I
lost.
know, you should win that. It's Lethal Tempo Zeri.
Yeah, so, bit of an interesting one. We've definitely had a lot of critiques, or at least I have personally,
Yes.
of the early laning of Kasing and Attila as a duo.
Yep.
I think one thing that was very strong about Haru with Kasing last split was that they were kind of able to get out dodge with bad laning and just kind of go
Link
and
up together and do be a good jungle support duo. Like, they were actually very proactive. What I'll say is, though, we have actually seen a lot better from Attila and Kasing since Vikings come in. They've looked a lot more
that is
consistent. We haven't seen this kind of flubbing in lane as much, and that's not a great start. And it's a little bit of a return to form that perhaps they wouldn't like to have seen. As Scroody doing what he can to get ahead of the curve farming, certainly doing that already. As Obvious talked about that on the desk. Look, yes, Java can fight you, but as Karthus, you just avoid him and farm so fast there's nothing to invade.
Yeah, and I will say, as a jungle player, I've played both sides of this match.
Yes.
And what I've learned over the years is that if Java walks into you like this,
Just
you might die.
He was not looking at that. Now he's just going to die. Goes down into the life beyond death. Can do a fair amount of work here. Kasing, remember, no flash. Dredge line secures a turnaround.
You know what Pehrson just did? Pehrson threw that out, and all you could very quietly hear is a as he landed. But still,
Maximum madness on the Rift today.
on the backside, Viking is actually going to still get this dragon. It
Yes.
seems. He's going to... I mean, he can smite early, so he'll be all right. But
Let's see this again, because
losing
Scroody
a lot
just
of HP.
stood there.
So what's very funny was I was going to say, if you walk into Jarvan and Jarvan misses the EQ, it's actually very easy to play out the 1v1. Unfortunately, it's a bit hard to dodge the EQ if it's right on top of your face. As a person, it's a kill secure.
Yeah, that's fair. He's a person, he's allowed to do that. Viking heals up off the honey fruit, that's the dragon secured. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 plus the dragon, and you'll take that. Kasing has... Oh my god, he's going to be found out. Kasing, don't run it! This isn't the way you're supposed to do it. He throws down the Eclipse shot. I don't know how much he can do here. He dodges the Dredge lines, that's something. But there's a Severum Crescendum. You're just not getting out of it. What?
Oh,
what am I witnessing?
The reduced cooldown. Oh.
That was very close. I know he did.
Because Pehrson missed the Q. he actually had reduced cooldown to maybe hook Attila. That was almost very funny. Mirza.
Behind the lines was active, and now he's going to land that Vault, starting to throw down some of those Harrier marks, gets the Q down as well for the blind, and definitely wins out on that trade. And we're left with a game that Singularity are currently leading in, 3-1 in kills.
Surely not 4 games, right? Smile.
The smile hides a great deal of pain. We asked for madness. I don't think we were quite expecting the deluge of it.
You know, like, I asked for chaos, and I can appreciate the teams actually, like, listening to me for a change.
True.
And
I mean, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the fact that Singularity had Munch on as their fan on the street, and that's just given them the power. Two LPL casters come in, and this is what happened.
I'm really sad because for complete like 4-4 breakage, I had to go and grab some food outside of the studio, so I missed Munch's.
Okay, never mind that. What we've also missed is Sip's getting comboed and now in so much danger. He's got a shield vault and a flash, but a flash cataclysm secures the kill for Chasey in the top side.
Yeah, just wasn't expecting Viking to show up, so he tried to path back towards his tower directly to hold on to his flash. Could have flashed over the wall directly, but again, just wasn't aware that Viking was in the area. Unfortunately, goes down. Nice little pick up by Viking, and right at the 8-minute mark, could have maybe considered a Herald take, but
He's got Grand Starfall, so we can definitely come back and consider trying to contest for that, I suppose.
definitely.
All right, well, we're left ourselves with a game that is 5 kills in 8 minutes. That's always quite exciting. And just seeing Scroody hang around this bot side, of course, at level 7 has been farming up an absolute storm on this AP jungler. Again, we've had no complaints about Scroody's ability to play on these scaling AP junglers. His Lilia was something monstrous, and Karthus not entirely dissimilar in that kind of farm-heavy playstyle. And he's doing very, very well to get himself ahead of that curve.
Yeah, champions like Lilia, Evelyn, Karthus, you can just farm full clear so quickly into just going to look and play around some of the lanes if there's interesting things going on. Speaking of Pehrson,
is here. Of course, Talia and Jarvan are just around the corner. There'll be a Weaver's Wall available. There it comes. Kasing already pretty low, though. Is it going to be in time? Kasing falls. And Tempt does land the seismic shove onto Scroody, but it's just not enough damage. The kill's there in X7. They saw the play. They just couldn't respond in time.
yeah, numbers there first.
Yeah.
Easy as that. Very quick pickup. Kasing had flash, but I think he probably just would have died anyway.
It's been in fact, 100% kill participation for Kasing for Singularity. He's 0-4.
He's having a good game.
I will question your use of good as the giggle comes through here. Like I'm watching Jamada break down, honestly.
Oh, no, I'm not breaking down. It's not like, see, you wasn't... There was a pretty interesting Division 2 set of games yesterday. Oh.
I didn't. I was at a friend's birthday, so I didn't see the Div 2 games yesterday. I'm assuming you've had a couple days now of interesting.
Look, I'm just going to fully sell out. I know a lot of people that watch Division 1 might not catch Division 2.
No, do sell out.
Watch the final game of Division 2 yesterday. It's
that interesting.
Yeah, like, if you've got a little bit of time after the broadcast here, just go and do it.
Okay.
And you will experience some kind of something. That's the best way I can unfortunately describe it in. It was one of those kind of games you just have to marvel
Witness.
and witness. Yes, that's the perfect way to put it. As focus back on the game, X7, they're here for the Herald. They're going to get it. Nobody on SNG is looking to contest this one.
Not yet, no, absolutely not. Of course, there is, I suppose, a world where a Requiem and a Grand Starfall comes in, but I think that would be a little bolder now, too late. Viking gets a hold of that, and again, the Jarvan is doing what the Jarvan is supposed to do, which is going for these early skirmishes. The Karthus is doing what the Karthus is supposed to do, which is farm real heavily. The fact he's got a couple kill involvements and some stacks on that Dark Seal is excellent news, as the Leandries is now completed for Scroody, and I think maybe at this point it is time to just look in at that matchup in particular. Both of these players have been instrumental to the team's turnarounds and fortunes to better or worse degrees.
Yeah, different and varying playstyles as well. I think, especially for X7 when they had MC in the roster, and I'll say this very happily, I love MC. Yeah. I think MC is a very talented jungler. I think he was still, mechanically one of our best that we had here in summer. Just unfortunately, I just didn't think fitted the kind of role and desires that the X7 laners needed. It's very hard to play a high economy jungle style that MC often needed on previous teams. And Viking has come in and kind of just slotted it perfectly. Yeah. Well, X7 really does a good job of just playing off the lanes, whereas Scroody, it's more about himself.
You can see it there in the numbers. Huge kill participation, huge damage numbers, huge amount of the gold. Big turnaround with the Requiem does some work, but now the Cataclysm in will take that graphic away as Mirza falls down, Requiem or not.
And Herald as well is in the back pocket for Viking. There to capitalize, and I think they just get the whole
They do.
tower. They're going to get the whole tower in 2 charges, actually.
Tip of the spear in more ways than one is Viking for X7, finds the kill in mid lane, gets the whole tower. Big swing in the game's fortunes now for the former NLC champions. Looking to try and get further as Scroody is going to be just out of range of that Zenith blade, but a flash and a teleport secures the kill anyway.
You know
Not sure about that.
That's just, that's a happy little accident.
Yeah,
That one.
it's fair.
Yeah,
Hussein gets involved with another kill, at least that. And now chasing 2-0 on that Night Harvester, no less. That's going to be the AP Gragas for more burst, more damage.
And let's be frank, too. There's 3 very one-shottable targets.
Oh, yeah.
Inside of the Karthus Quinn and Aphelios. So let's see whether or not Chasey can get backline access. I feel like Chasey has been very silently having an excellent
He's seriously improved. Like, considering where he was to begin with, where we saw good laning, but some suspect decision-making. Some suspect understanding of where things were happening on the map. That's really leveled up over the last few weeks, and particularly since the general improvement for X7, this guy has really become one of our best top laners.
Yeah, and even recently I was speaking with Chronicler, and one of the last things that he mentioned, because he didn't ask me about the NLC, but one of the first things he asked me about when he asked me about the NLC was, how's Chasey doing? Because he always spoke so highly of him when he heard that he was coming from Challengers Korea over to the NLC. And yeah, I think he's been living up to his own expectations, in my mind at least.
Yeah, and again, look, it took X7 a little while to get on the road, and obviously Viking coming in has been a huge thing for this. We kind of mentioned the differences that switch in jungle has brought for the team, and it's clearly made them more vocal, if nothing else. They've still got a little bit of work here to do, and of course they've made their road to getting to E-Masters pretty hard as Pehrson misses the dredge line, and he's going to be able to walk out anyway. Actually, X7 burn a few more ultimates there than perhaps they were hoping for, and don't get the kill.
Yeah, Jarvan ultimate, what's that Leona ult? But the thing is, there's no neutral on the map to contest. So
Quite, yeah.
It's actually not that bad for now. Nothing to fight over. So just looking for a pick, simple as that. Could have maybe ceded control or succeeded control, I think that's the proper way to say it, into the jungle of SNG. What about that pick? X7 will just have to go back to looking.
For the record, seeded is the right term.
Seeded the right way?
It begins with a C. Anyway, either way, Sips now about to find himself the recipient of a 3-man gank. There's a massive combo from Chaser. He uses his ult to block up to more damage. The flash away is pretty good going, but he's just not got anywhere to run, and Pantheon falls from the mountain one more time. More mortal than God this time around.
Respectable attempt, though. Almost, well, no, he was probably always going to die, but...
I love how you just correct yourself, like,
yeah, 3v1, very hard to get out that one. But X7 just proactively still looking for picks across the map. They look for the pick onto Pehrson on the bottom side. They immediately transition that from bot to the top side because they know SNG were all around that area in the first place, so they can get away with... Wait, was that? Why did he... Oh, it was a spellbook.
Oh, spellbook, yeah. I was like, getting out of that.
I was like, why did he heal?
Why have you done this?
Yeah, so Scrooty, for the record, has first strike. So my only assumption is he's playing Moneymaker cards.
Yeah, it's like, I need more gold.
My only question is, can we click on the Karthus? Because how long is his cooldown on the ultimate? Okay, it's about actually in sync with the Dragon.
It'll be in time for Dragon. And of course,
I was expecting...
He's got to be pretty close to level 11. I think with another half a clear should be about there as well. So that'll be rank 2 on the Requiem. So fine time to be using the Moneymaker first strike ult.
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised by that. I thought it had a longer cooldown at rank 1, but hey, good job, Scrooty, making money. I'm sure we can probably get some backward stat from one of the observers about how much money that first strike has made at some point.
We'll do our very best to find a hold of that, as Sips has had a bit of a rough time on this Pantheon, and we kind of said it wasn't the best laner right now, and it's definitely been struggling a little bit. Of course, we'll be getting some jungle buffs, actually, relatively shortly for 12-14, I want to say, so might be seeing a bit more of that.
Archer is very exciting.
Very indeed.
You should have seen him the other day when it came out, and I was just there next to him, and he was just like jumping for joy like a child.
He does have a little bit of a sort of like giddy bounce thing he does, as Scrooty finds himself in a very deadly position, but flashes out of the solar flare and won't be in a cataclysmic position for too much longer. But Flash is now down on the Karthus, and that can be a dangerous position. You're supposed to outfarm the Jarvan, but avoid fighting him. Couldn't quite manage it this time around, even if that CS gain is still very exceptional for the Karthus right now.
Yeah, and I'll talk about Karthus' first strike. Seems as it looks like SNG are not actually going to contest this dragon. Scrooty has actually only made 275 gold.
Really? Oh,
which
is pretty low.
Is a lot lower than I thought, but he's not really been in that much combat.
No, not really, and we've not seen a huge amount out of the Requiems as yet, so see whether that continues to change as the game goes on. Of course, that room will scale, as do many of them, and that might give a little bit more as the game goes on. Either way, looking towards what looks to be something potentially like a Zhonya's, if that Fiendage Codex and the Stopwatch are combined. Could still be a separate item, of course, but worth keeping our eyes on, as Scrooty is just on our screen right now, looking to see whether there is an option onto Attila, but I don't know whether they're going to quite have the lockdown. The Wall of Pain comes down. That'll force a flash out of Attila, so he spoke too soon. A little bit more threat than Attila was willing to put up with.
Yeah, if Sips had flash, that was probably one dead Zeri, but also still had the wall wrap.
Yeah.
I hate this champion, you know that?
It's been nerfed a lot. It's being nerfed
more.
again and again.
It needs to be nerfed again.
Like full-on Teletubbies vibe.
Yeah, like
Again,
straight
again.
up, like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. only
No worries. That's a very niche reference, but it's there.
God, I forgot that even existed. Oh, it's another moneymaker. Yo, hover over. I think anytime. All right, I'm going to make a very obnoxious request of the observers. If this game stays like really slow, if we notice that Karthus is casting Requiem, can we maybe get like a fast hover over him? Because the gold does pop up. And I'm just kind of curious to know how much gold he gets per ult at this point. Because he's just only using them out of combat.
Yeah, it is right now. I mean, like, that's the deal. Is like, look, I want to scale to be the ultimate AP threat. And in fairness, you got a 2-0-2 Aphelios who's farming just fine as well. Like, you get those two champions to a dangerous position, they'll do work.
Yeah, if we, like, kind of take a step back, sure, X7 are, you know, up 1,000 gold, but I think the actual game state isn't terrible. The only thing that's a little bit worrying is, you know, Chasey plus Temp, they have 2 items already finished up, completed. Those are tier items as well, stacked up. That could mean they have a combat bonus.
Done, though, and that's going to be Kasing again's the one being caught out. There's the Weaver's Wall to bring Tempt in, though. Kasing just about alive. Inches of HP. Merza just out of range of the body slam. Chasey has to flash away. Good 3-man seismic shove, but that just brings Spiky Rage at Chasey, who maybe can turn it around. That'll be a shutdown going the way of Spiky, though. And Chasey dies. Now the Grand Starfall is in. Sips looking for an Aegis Assault or a Shield Vault, neither required. And actually Singularity are the ones coming out on top of that fight, and they get onto the Herald. The map state isn't as bad as you were saying.
Yeah, exactly. And like, this is kind of what I was going to get to. Like, X7, okay, they have at the moment an IM advantage, but they kind of have to use it well. In this instance, they just kind of have Kasing get caught out, and from there it's effectively a 4 versus 5. And with only a 1,000 gold...
Cool. Nearly gets to interrupt that back. That was a moment away from being able to do that. And actually, I'll throw it back to you now. I saw Viking looking for that, and I was like, oh my god, here we go again.
I thought he was going to just, like, send it with his R.
I say, genuinely.
Just didn't.
Back on
Replay. Hello. Kasing, face check-in. Did just have Chasey right next to him, but Chasey a little more interested in trying to interrupt Scrooty. And as you can see, Kasing just kind of gets forced out. Pop your pots, kids. Pop your pots. As on the top side, you'll see this seismic shove is absolutely... Well, would have been a little better if it was the opposite way. But does find 3, unfortunately shut down for X7, goes towards Spiky, and that's a really big deal, because I imagine as we come out of the replay, second item completed, Bloodthirster. And that's going to make him a lot harder to take down some of these team fights, all the additional healing.
Now 3-0 and 200% kill participation for AD Carry. A little unusual, but doing very well in this game indeed. Got a lot of those kills, of course, onto Kasing, who was struggling earlier on into the game with some of those positioning and fight options.
I really want to just highlight something that just happened in the inventories there, because Scrooty picked up... Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're seeing a little bit of a fight. He's got himself a needlessly large rod, so...
He's not dealing a lot of damage to this guy.
Merz is doing what he can to trade this one up, but he's about to find himself the recipient of a 3-man gank, and there is no way out of this one. Behind enemy lines, supposed to be the ultimate, not where you're positioning, and Quinn dies for the second time.
Yeah, so Scrooty had enough gold to finish up Azonia's.
Yeah.
But curiously also had enough gold to pick up a needlessly large rod. So he sold...
Decided again.
I think he sold a pot or something.
Ah.
He had the Zonias finished up, but then it was like, no, I want more damage.
AP. Yeah. I've got a stopwatch available. I'll complete the Zonias when I break it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how much that benefits him or not. Of course, like you said, has the stopwatch anyway. Also has the Herald, so expect them to drop it
somewhere.
In about 35 seconds time when they want to contest Dragon.
That makes some sense, and we'll see what Scrooty decides to do with this needlessly large rod. There's a Horizon Focus angle, there's a Shadow Flame angle, there's just the straight Death Cap, of course. See what the option is. There is that Herald summoned, roughly when you were saying, about 30 seconds till that Drake's going to use this to try and get some damage, gets a teleport out of Chasey as well.
All right, so SNG, they'll at the very least get this charge off, but it's not going to break the tower by any means. But look towards that river. It's SNG that are technically going to be here first, but a lot of the vision control is X7 favored. And actually, if SNG don't walk into
big shove! Tempt, you're too good!
Nasty, oh god, Sips.
Sips is very deep. He's now in a 1 versus 5, and yes, you've got the soul of your Karthus that was there momentarily, but I think you have starfalled into the grave, my friend.
That was a Pantheon ultimate that Archer would cast.
He's going to come
I know
storming
he's
in
sat
here
in the
to
green
start
room
arguing
right now.
with
He
you.
sat in the green room right. As soon as I said, his mouth just opened where he's like,
Yeah.
wow, this
I mean,
guy.
are you wrong?
No. Have
There
you
you go.
played with Pantheon, with Archer?
I have.
It's synonymous to me now, like Pantheon, Archer, same.
He's not here to defend himself, so
He
we'll just throw him
can't
under the bus a few times. Or under his own grand storefalls, apparently, because...
Oh, thank you, observers. You're so smart.
Ooh. How much gold was that? Did you see?
161. Wait, 161.
He's completed the Zonias this time, however.
Did he just cast his ult against
the Zonias?
Wait, can we swap
Biggest
over to the
brain
gold?
ever,
Quick,
Scrooty.
can we swap over to the gold? Observers, can we swap over to the gold? I want to know. Like, if he...
Must know.
He did!
Genius! Absolute genius. Scrooty, his brain is larger.
He's so smart, man.
The IQ is off the charts.
Okay.
He might be very dead, though, because he is on vision, even if his brain is off the charts. Solar flare, seismic sharp, dead. Carthus, no!
Oh!
Zonias!
And he's out!
Flag and drive without actually so much turnaround damage. It's pretty extreme. The Moonlight Vigil lets a lot of chakrams running for Spiky. I don't know how much more he can get done. Merza vaults forward. But Spiky, even with the chakrams, can't hit anybody in their about time out. Kasing flashes forward but goes incredibly deep. That's not the best cast ever, but it knocks Spiky away. Look at the other side. Merza trying to trade out, gets a vault over the wall. Pehrson dies. Weaver's wall coming forward. Stepped over. Gets a kill with a threaded volley. And X7 win the fight.
Okay, SNG... No. Scrooty, we just complimented you for having like 300 IQ.
No street smarts, though.
No street spots. Oh boy, all right, well, off the back of that pick onto the Carthus, unfortunately a teamfight breaks out. Quite frankly, SNG just don't have the damage to stand up to just yet. And X7 capitalize fantastically, and now that's just going to turn into an immediate Baron. And that's 3 minutes of sieging, which I expect them to use pretty damn efficiently. They've got dive tools, and, you know, Kasing's not been afraid to send it this game. So
Not. Let's have a look at this again, because Scrooty decides to show us the difference between intelligence and wisdom.
it's just a little bit disrespectful, you know? I think there's just not enough vision to really be pathing here. I guess maybe that ward in the brush at the top really gives him the confidence to step up, but Viking does a great job of locking everybody down. It also stops SNG from advancing into X7, which I think could have been deadly. Look at how many chakras Spiky has. But we're going to come out of the replay because I think a fight's breaking out.
Oh, Spiky has got flash, may well need to burn it shortly as Pehrson being run from the jungle as well. Chasey knocks away Spiky with the cast. Pehrson over the wall, but X7 continuing to chase. Dredgeline will get him out for safety for now. Sips trying to turn this around. Tempt has to go golden, but Scrooty about to die in the middle of everybody. But decides that's a worthy trade. Raccoon coming down. Tempt falls out. That'll be one back. But already Attila running rampant to the back end of it all. We've seen Xerries today do miraculous things, and Attila looking to join their number. A triple to the X7 AD carry.
All right, well, X7 win that fight heavy-handedly. And again, it kind of starts off with a pick off to Scrooty for the second time in a row. It seems like a lot of X7 are actually going to go for a reset here.
Oh, Singularity, their bot lane gets caught out, and they try to retreat, and X7 having none of it.
Yeah, all right. So you can see everybody is just getting forced back here by X7. They're looking for Pehrson, but unfortunately, they find the man in the jungle for a second time in a row instead. That Requiem, though, nets the Carthus 600 gold, which can be a pretty big deal. But I can see on the top side, Attila just untouched. He's able to just right-click and, oh, sorry, Q over everybody. That champion doesn't right-click. And just finds himself triple kill. Really nicely timed Sonya's as well from Chasey, just to ensure that he doesn't drop to the execution damage of that spear shot from Sips.
Of course, the more X7 get control of the jungle, the less Carthus can farm, the less that play pattern becomes a viable option. Scrooty had a very phenomenal gold lead, and it's kind of stayed pretty stagnant at this point.
Okay.
Sorry, from Scrooty, but now he's in a dangerous position, trying to play this one out best they can. Do get the lockdown. Big shutdown, that's the couple. Can they escape? A three-man solar flare is exactly what they need to turn it around, and now Attila can start hunting for absolutely everybody. The lightning crash comes down. He's hunting for Sips. On the top side of your screen, you're seeing Merza and Scrooty being run down, but I don't think they'll be able to quite get close enough. Viking will not be required as what a phenomenal seismic sharpen. He gets a double regardless. Jarvan definitely coming out on top, and now Sips throws down the Aegis Assault, but it will buy but a moment. The burst fire goes full automatic for Attila.
All right, I think X7 can maybe just end through the top lane. Maybe Spiky being up with Pehrson is enough to dissuade the attempt, but it's just 4 members. It looks like they're just going to go for structure breaks, inhibitors on the top and mid lane. They're going to look to reap the spoils of war, go towards the dragon perhaps.
12,000 gold in the lead. They've got 15 seconds on Infernal Soul, and they'll decide 2 inhibitors is more than enough of a lead for now. And Singularity hold on, but what was once a relatively close game with some play patterns falls swiftly into disrepair. X7 hiding in a bush. Just looking to see whether Pehrson about to find an Ultra Shock Laser overcomes Tempting Viking, and this Attila has been nothing short of absolutely destructive. Viking knocked out of the pit, and Scrooty uses his ultimate one more time.
173 gold.
That means a lot at this point as the Infernal Soul goes down.
Smile.
Got a death cap, I'll give him that.
Yeah. All right.
Look, what I'm saying is Karthus has been much like a Cogmore, really making the most out of his passive.
It's the kind of Cogmore and Karthus you don't want. You know what? Respect.
That's the kind of send I approve.
Yeah, that's the kind of send I can get behind. And the initial pick is great. The unfortunate scenario is that that's a really great Leonel.
So good.
And it just locks down Cleanseless Aphelios, and from there the chase down is as easy as you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, like, credit to Kasing, he had a rough laning phase, but some of these teamfight ults have been impeccable. X7 have been more than willing, more than bloodthirsty enough to chase down Singularity on the retreat every time. Talia and Jarvan just so hard to escape from, and now with the Soul, with 1 inhibitor remaining, Singularity are holed up in their base.
Oh, indeed they are. And Viking is just giving him the standard.
That's a very euphemistic way of saying, well, perhaps we won't say that on a broadcast, but we all understand the reference, I suspect, as Sips eats an Ultra Shock Laser. In comes the Weaver's Wall, and Mirza locked in the Cataclysm vaults away, but I think the only vault he's about to find him are the Catacombs, where you bury all the bodies. The Singularity are piling up, 24 deaths already this game. They'll be stacking up a couple more. Spiky and Pehrson remain alive for but a moment. A good flash away might allow the Aphelios to survive, but JC says absolutely not. X7 will lock in 3rd place. Tie with Riddle and Excel for game score, but their head-to-head haunts them now. Either way, they will have their pick of the litter of 5th or 6th opponent when they head into playoffs.
And that is a big deal for X7, I think, when you look at how strong they've been in the back half since Viking has joined this roster. And it does make you wonder who they'll want to pick, right? I think there's good arguments for both Astralis and Bifrost as they finally kill the Nexus and claim their 12th win of the split, final win of the regular split. Really great showing from them, and yeah, it's a bit of an unfortunate situation to finish further in the tiebreaker just because of the initial part of their split.
Absolutely, and you know, Singularity had fun in the draft. They played with the draft. X7 played with them like food in the game. It was a pretty destructive thing after some of those early phases seemed perhaps a little bit more equitable, perhaps, should we say. Did fall away from them, though. It locks X7 into 3rd. That's a big improvement from where we saw them earlier on in the split. But I think for now, we might have to go and mourn with the desk. I think Archeron is looking just a tad despondent after that game.
He's angry at me.
That's also reasonable.
Yeah.
See you in a few.
Said, not really. I got Pantheon. You got Katarina. You got your champion as well, Evelyn. I mean, nobody picked it, so it's invisible.
You know what that means? We should probably never be coaches because we're going to be forcing our players to play our shitty champions, and they're going to be losing games because of that.
You can keep walking. Oh, I'm good.
You know, that was the least threatening walk I've ever seen in my life.
I'm gonna be honest. He started walking with me as menacingly as he could,
smiling.
and I was like, "Oh, that's a penguin. That's so funny." I'm gonna hit a hug. No, but well, with this, the chaos is over. I guess X7 take on the third spot, and this is quite important because with this game alone, it means that Riddle loses the 2nd position they were trying so hard to get. They'll lose the 3rd one that would allow them to pick the team that they wanted to play at the first round of playoffs, and they're forced to go to the 4th seed. That is a tough one.
Yeah, and also the fact that X7 won right now means that there's no tiebreakers at all in the NLC. Even if Astralis managed to win, that doesn't change anything. Dusty remains 1st, and Astralis cannot catch up for 3rd. They cannot catch up with X7 anymore. So no more surprises, no tiebreakers. Everything has been set in stone. Dusty 1st, JDXL 2nd. They both locked EU Masters. third seed is going to be, for now, X7, who get to choose their opponent in the lower bracket. And from there on out, it's going to be a bloody bath for who's going to take the 2 main stage tickets.
And they keep sounding and playing the same way as we talked before the game. Having Viking on that roster is completely destructive and menacing as well.
Unhinged.
He was great. Like the top side this game, absolute destruction from the beginning. But obviously in the bot side, we did see Kissing having a happy game. Let's just go there. Not the most optimal stat line in the beginning of the game.
You want to go there?
I want to go there.
Let's talk with his
He needs to
duo,
chill.
Attila, that is waiting on the interview. Let's talk about the happy game of Kissing. Hello, Attila. How happy was your support today?
Let's not talk about sad things, shall we?
Welcome to the interview yet again, Attila. And you're locked in. You're on playoffs. You're now able to pick the team that you want to fight against. Was this the place you were looking to get into today when you woke up?
I mean, not really. Honestly, like I found out that we were currently not able to be second place for some reason, but I guess like we were really bad at the start of the split, so we don't really deserve second place. So we might as well just give XDXL like the second place and a U-Master slot before they shamble and crumble on playoffs.
Did you just say
Man, wait,
XDXL?
did we bring
Yes, XDXL,
back
yes.
in the interview? Hello? Attila is like,
No. I mean, personally, before I was cool with them, but now I have like, they have some cocky players, you know, with like big mouths and like small hands. So it's like, I just want them to actually lose a best of 5 and then go into semis, lose against us, and go into play-ins and lose against like a random Czech team.
Okay, so
This is just spicy.
what I wanted to ask you is, obviously, the way a 3-way tie works is who has the most wins among the 3 teams, right? And you guys lock in third, meaning you have to play through a lower bracket, but at least you get to pick your first opponent and then so on and so forth. Now, I'm assuming through Dusty and Excel, you're expecting that Dusty will move forward to the grand final.
Yes.
From the upper bracket, which then gives you the chance to throw Excel down to the playing slot and grab the main stage for you. Now, through the lower bracket, which team do you think will challenge you the most?
Riddle.
Riddle.
Like, I think without a doubt, like I think Biofrost are there just because they are there. Like we will probably like just pick them and just send Diamond Prox back to retirement. And I mean, yeah, like the other 2, I think like Riddle has been pretty consistent, which I'm kind of sad because I feel like they will actually be interesting on U-Masters, but I just think our team is better, so I'll hope we'll win against them. And then I also think that they're better than Astralis. Astralis right now, you just get Gameday Storm farm to 40 minutes because they won't do anything early game, and then you probably win against them.
Right. So since he's been bringing the final, let me bring one as well. Do you think you'll do better than you did with Superliga at EU Masters now that you're in the NLC?
Hello.
I hope so. I hope so. And I mean, so far I just went to quarterfinals, right, with Superliga with these giant stacked rosters that we always tend to have. And then, unfortunately, on quarterfinals we're just not good enough. But to be fair, last time, you know, like we get quarterfinals, of course we have to get drafted Misfits, of course. And now I bet with you all my money that if we go into U-Masters quarterfinals, we're gonna randomly get drafted into Giants. Randomly, okay?
Okay.
Like, for some reason. But I will love that because this time I think we have a team to beat them, and I actually think we have a team that actually can do well on U-Masters.
Good to know, because Giants are, I think, right now tied first with Heretics.
Oh, Giants are destroying Superliga.
Yeah.
Like Superliga, I've been watching.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, Superliga doesn't matter, man. This is the real league right here. If you win this league, you're almost guaranteed EU Masters finals. So have fun facing K-Corp, I guess.
Have fun on that one, Attila. I would love to see that matchup and then interview you. I would love to see that one. Attila, congratulations yet again on getting third seed right now. And let's see how you fared in playoffs. Have the best day, man. Have a lovely one. See ya.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye, guys.
What is happening today, man?
Just getting a lot of spices. We're just getting a lot of spices. Do you like spicy? You're getting spicy.
Someone's gonna crumble. JDXL has big mouths. Like,
I was so happy with the beginning of this interview where he went full ham. And at the end, I feel like he lacked the decisiveness. I would have liked to hear him say that he is the most confident he's ever been going into the EU Masters right now. That's what I was missing at the end of that interview there. But other than that, I love the spice coming out for him. XDXL.
You see, though, I brought him down to earth when I mentioned Superliga. He's like, we had really promising
Tuning down, yeah.
roasters over in the Super
I mean,
League.
I'm trying not to eat a lot of candies, but if I get like the best dessert for me, it would be Reckles versus Attila on the bot lane. That would be the game that I.
Nice, K-Corp versus X7. You know what? X7 managed to pick up a perfect game versus K-Corp in last EU Masters. So bring it on, baby.
Ooh, okay, that's a lot to digest, but we need to talk with Singularity. Let's understand how they ended this split. Let's talk with Pehrson, the support. Welcome back. This is the last interview of the split. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
You don't look great, though. Okay, now you look. You are like, really? Oh, I don't look great. Okay, this was a game that was mostly about fun and enjoying as well versus X7. A really tough team to actually face. But can you tell me, can you make me a summary of what this split was to you?
For me personally, I just wanted to help out as much as I could because they were in need of a support. And I played with all the players before. And for me, I also wanted to prove myself, like what I could do, how I could play. That was my main goal.
Do you feel like you prove yourself your worth?
I feel like I proved myself, yeah, I would say so.
Okay, but you're still going to play on relegations with the Singularity, right?
Yes.
What do you believe are your chances on that one?
We're going to win.
Easy. Okay, now that's a smile I haven't seen. Like, oh, that's the feeling good. What is your plan for the future, though, after relegations? Let's say Singularity keep their spot. They're going completely undefeated on the relegations. What is your plan as a player for the future?
Oof, I am not sure what my plan is for the future. I mean, I want to keep playing because I want to compete. Like, competition is what I live for. It's so much fun.
You still don't know which league or even
No.
the NLC and all that. So this is a call for action, like saying everybody, hey, I'm available for 2023. Is that it?
Yeah.
What is your fondest
free.
memory of playing with Singularity this split, if I may ask?
My proudest memory?
Yeah, the fondest, like the one you like the most.
Beating Bifrost. And everyone was like
Wait.
so hyped up. That was the best moment.
Okay. That is an interesting answer because I would have thought you would have said JDXL. Why was it Bifrost and not JDXL?
Because I think JDXL is looking like a relegation team, to be honest. Like, I think
Yes, that's
Bifrost
what I
is
want to
looking
hear.
way better than XL.
What is happening today, man? Everyone's dropping bombs.
This is awesome.
You are a person that is really enjoyable to talk with, Pehrson. Thank you for that one. Now, let's see what happens on relegation. It was a pleasure to have you with us on NLC. I would love to see you here on 2023. So let's see how the things are going. Have a nice one, Pehrson.
You too, guys.
Keep shining, keep climbing.
Okay, we need a minute because a lot of things have happened.
No, we need more. We need chaos.
Beat JDXL. JDXL are crying because they can't get second seed anymore. But Nuriki take the ball, keep it to themselves, don't give it away to Riddle, which means now JDXL have locked in second place because Nuriki were kind enough to beat Riddle. Now Riddle are crying because they can't lock in third place for themselves, even though they were tied for second for the longest time. And suddenly X7 are beating Singularity. They take third place. They get to choose their opponents. Attila comes and says, JDXL are imploding. They have big mouths, small hands. Peherson's like, JDXL is looking like a relegation team. And I'm like, holy give me a minute, man. I need to digest
Can't breathe on this one. Shall we look into the standings?
JDXL are literally chilling like this, and they're like, keep talking and telling us what we're like, because we're chilling with that EU Masters ticket, you know?
I don't know if they're like that, by the way.
A little bit.
I think they're like that kids.
But they're sweating, but they're still sitting like this.
So how did you get your place at the EU Masters? And GDXL is like, do you know you know that meme where the kids? That's how I got EU Masters. Let's look into the standings right now to understand where they are right now. I have no idea, but apparently it's Dusty on first place, GDXL on second, locked in. X7 on third place. Riddle cannot fight versus them, and Astralis are kind of tied with Bifrost, but it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter at this point. And also Astralis have another game to play, right, against Dusty, so they could win. Why is at the end of the day, every single position is pretty much locked and loaded in place. The 3 ones that matter are the 2 ones that go straight into the upper bracket final, and the one that goes into the lower bracket. Riddle and X7 slotted in. X7 get to choose which team they want to play against, whether it's Bifrost or Astralis, and Riddle take the remainder.
Nah, production, you guys are smurfing. I'm loving this, by the way. What is your take?
On who's they're going to pick?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that could be it.
I mean, for sure, you're taking Astralis. Look, like this last game now is Astralis needing to prove that they're actually scary going into playoffs. Because
So if Astralis wins versus Dusty, will you eat your words?
that depends on how they win.
Okay.
They need to show a lot here.
If it's a stomp, you
not
go back.
necessarily a stomp, but I need to be happy with what I'm seeing because in the recent times I have not, even their stomp with LeBlanc, I have not been happy with it.
This is something that is very interesting to me because it's like, obviously, if you're on the 3rd slot, you're going to be picking Astralis over Bifrost, right? Because Bifrost, like Oddie in the bot lane, they've been looking a lot more stable recently, ever since they said, we're sticking to one style, and this is what we play best, and this is what we're going to stick to. I feel like if Astralis prove here, do not pick us to play against X7, who's the scarier team down in the lower bracket. Maybe there's a chance they can prove here, like if we can beat Dusty, then maybe we are dangerous. And if we're dangerous in a best of 1, we can be more dangerous in a best of 5.
And we spoke about mental advantage, like with JDXL, but also for Astralis here, I feel like they might also be a bit down. So beating Dusty now is the best start you can have to a playoff run.
It's the best message you can send to the top head.